Hey everyone, Renee here. So this video, I'm going to review my favorite tools and devices or what I am currently using right now for a healthier scalp with a particular focus on hair regrowth and really stimulating those follicles. Ranging from my good old Gua Sha to a scalp massager that I have become obsessed with because it feels like the best thing ever. My iRestore LED and laser helmet and a hair dryer that uses light and wind as opposed to heat to dry your scalp. For me, there's a big correlation between my scalp condition and my hair loss and hair regrowth cycle. For me, the hair loss that I've been experiencing, which has accelerated over the last few years, has a lot to do with my hormonal issues that come with midlife. My doctor told me that it is normal to lose up to 30% of your hair during this time in our life. It's purely just age and hormones. I've definitely noticed a difference between how thick my ponytail is now as opposed to how it used to be. My part widening, all those things. It can be jarring. So while these follicles still can produce hair, I want to make sure that they are encouraged to do so efficiently, but also I want the strands to not keep getting weaker and thinner. So a few fundamentals I'd like to share first, because as with everything, when we are targeting a concern, it really takes a few modalities to treat it. Not one thing can ever really fix everything. So I have gone to trichologists for treatment starting years ago. One of them was more focused on a whole TCM approach. Another one had a more Western approach, but also a very holistic one, which started with my diet. So rather than just taking biotin supplements that are for hair and nails, we really focused in on what is lacking. And for me, it was iron. That is a big thing. I do tend to be anemic. So when I'm not as iron deficient, it's like magic. I see all the little hairs coming out and I feel the hair loss is a lot less. Congestion has absolutely hindered hair growth for me. I've had too many up close and personal looks at it. I also can't stress enough how important scalp exfoliation has been and what a difference it has made for me. I will link a video about how we can even use our own skincare for scalp exfoliation, in particular using it as a pre-cleanse mask. So whether it is your AHA toner, I always think it's good to have some BHA as well to really get deep into the follicles. For a huge chunk of my life, I let my hair naturally dry after washing, thinking it was the healthier thing to do. And having changed that made a huge difference. I did not realize that so many of my scalp problems did actually stem from dampness. And dampness in no situation is a good thing, but particularly when you're talking about your scalp, and especially if you have a lot of hair or long hair, it can take a long time for your scalp to get dry after washing, to a degree where a lot of us even sleep with hair that is slightly damp. It can lead to fungal infections, unwanted bacterial growth, a lot of itchiness, irritation, redness, all that wonderful stuff, which honestly I had a lot of before. That changed after I started drying my scalp every time after I wash my hair. I just made sure, the rest of my hair could be damp, but the scalp area and where the roots of my hair are, I wanted to be dry. So during the holidays, my dear friend gave me a Zuvi Halo hair dryer as a Christmas gift. I've been using it ever since. The technology is really cool in that it uses infrared light and wind rather than high heat to evaporate moisture from your scalp and your hair, which makes it far gentler, but just as effective in that, it doesn't take more time when I use this versus anything else to dry my hair. But it's very obvious to me that it's a lot less drying to the skin. In fact, this has been tested to retain 109% more moisture. So this will dry but not dry out. Starting around a month ago, so fairly recently, I started using the iRestore Pro device for a couple of reasons. This was just quite appealing to me because it is one of the only devices that uses LED light and laser light. Most of the ones that I have used or seen before use either laser or LED. So this combines both for maximum efficacy, but also I just like the fact that it's a helmet, so it's got a lot of reach. This portion of the video is in partnership with iRestore, and this is the beginning of our journey together. I am very committed to making sure that I use this diligently every other day, 3 to 4 times a week for at least the next 6 months, just to see the kind of results that can be yielded. So this uses low-level light therapy, which has been proven to be effective at extending the growth phase of the hair growth cycle, but also at reactivating dormant hairs and dormant follicles. So our hair is either growing, resting, or falling out. Low-level light therapy nourishes the follicles to keep it in the growing phase. Kind of reminds me of lash serums and how it keeps our lashes in the growing phase so they can grow much longer than they regularly would before falling out. I just want to mention that I'm not currently using any topical hair regrowth treatments such as minoxidil, only because I just hate the way it feels on my hair. It just weighs everything down and makes everything look really greasy. But there has been some research that has shown that using topicals like minoxidil in conjunction with low-level light therapy has really given even better results than just using either alone. So iRestore uses high-quality medical grade lasers and LED. Lasers have the ability to penetrate more deeply, to spot treat and spot stimulate the follicles, whereas LED can stimulate a broader area. So the combination of depth and breadth treatment provides optimal conditions for the follicles to regrow hair. So this can fit pretty much all head sizes very comfortably. They have these silicone little pads, which are removable. So if your head is larger, you just remove these and it will fit. The clippable portable charger is really a thoughtful touch. It makes this truly a hands-free experience. This is 25 minutes per session, and during that time, you can really do whatever you want. You can roam freely. I will keep you posted and updated, and hopefully there will be just really visible results. Bringing circulation and blood flow to the scalp is so important. That's what massage is so great for. And that's also one of the main reasons why hair brushing is so important. Unfortunately, I think if you're like me, if you're used to losing a lot of hair, then the hair brushing is a scary thing, or it's something that I'm not inclined to do. I finger comb. But there are many ways to massage the scalp that are not just beneficial, but mainly it just feels so good. I'm not legalistic at all about how often I do this. I think head massage will always be beneficial, whether you do it more often or just occasionally. In Asia, I've had a few Gua Sha scalp treatments before, and they range from being really quite uncomfortable, almost painful, to just being so relaxing. I can't even remember what happened because I fell asleep within 5 minutes. The way I've been taught to do this on myself is so relaxing, and it really gets some pressure points without being too aggressive, because you don't want to damage your scalp either. So I personally do not prefer the Gua Shas that look like combs because I find them to be very awkward to use. I like this one where there's like a knuckle side. I use like a seesaw rolling motion down my head, and it feels really comfortable. I can feel everything just melting. I basically go down the sides of my head, starting from my hairline to the nape of my neck. And especially around the nape of the neck, this feels so great. So this was gifted by my very sweet friend, but not to me, to my spoiled little puppy. But I've been borrowing this, let's just say. This has become one of my favorite tools and favorite devices. When you first see it, it looks a little scary, but these little rotating grippers are so soft, and the way they feel on the head, it's just the perfect amount of pressure. It's not too much because you don't want to be too aggressive, but it's just very, very comforting, and it feels better than hands. There are a few different speeds to this. It goes clockwise, it goes anti-clockwise. I can fall asleep while doing this on myself. You can even use this in the shower while you are washing your hair. This can help give you a good scalp cleanse, but I haven't used it that way. I just randomly move this across my head. My hair doesn't tangle. After using this even just for a few seconds right now, this whole area feels so good right now. There's movement happening, there's flow. So that's it, everyone. These are just some of my favorite things for just overall scalp health and hopefully more seamless and more efficient hair regrowth. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'm wishing you great skin health. Bye!